welcome to another Kamikaze creation video and my new workspace. I've been tidying up the shed and consolidating a few projects to try to give myself a bit more comfortable work environment and a bit cleaner. I've also taken on a few suggestions from the online community about lighting. I have bought a new little Bluetooth mic. Haven't got that yet, but it has been a goal of mine to increase the technology for the YouTube channel and just try to start producing a bit more quality content, not just content. So anyway, we're back in the shed. We're looking at this motor and I'll show you what I'm getting up to. I have a lot of parts laid out here on the desk, starting to reduce them greatly from where I was working before. This gasket is actually a spare because I have the 3-ply kinetic, I think they are, gasket. And I have found a little bit of a problem with that rocker cover that we'll have a look at and talk about. But anyway, we're starting to get there, starting to reduce the parts list. So in the last video, I was missing a few parts, and in the process of doing that cleanup, I found a few parts, which is awesome. So I've done a bit of a cleanup, and I have temporarily, this isn't gasketed yet, but I've got a water pump ready to start fixing off. I also found a blanking plate which is gasketed and glued and locked off in place. So we're starting to move forward with that, and there's the 3-ply gasket. I have used these before and I have had them not seal well, but I think it was due to the actual finish on the surface faces. And on when I had this decked, the machine shop did ask what sort of gasket I was running, and they have done a very, very nice finish, which I'll show you in a second, on that deck, and hopefully it all seals up really well. So as part of the process of cleaning up, I started to organise all my parts for this build. Now some of these I will use and some of them I won't use, but it's good to have everything in one place, know what I've got and know what I've got to buy. The process today is starting to get this head all set up. Now again, in the last video I mentioned that I didn't have the nuts and washers. I knew I did have these studs. So these are all ARP gear, and I, in the cleanup process, identified what I had, and I've got them all set up there to start fitting to the motor and getting that head all tensioned down, which is going to be another great process. I've now fitted all of the ARP studs. Put some sealant on the threads as I screwed them in to just seal off any chance that there's access to the water jacket. Not sure on the 202 whether it's like that. A couple of them can run coolant up through the studs, so to negate that happening, I've just sealed all of those threads and screwed them in, used a Loctite product to do that, and now I've put that gasket on as well. It's looking pretty good. I'm really happy with the end result, and I'm getting pretty close to putting a head on. I just want to do a few checks before I do put the head on. I do have a really nice harmonic balancer, and it has 2 keyways in it. And I've got to get that key fitted. I want to get it on top dead center and get that harmonic balancer in the right direction, because I can't, it's got 2 keyways in it, and knowing which, I could easily put it 180 degrees out. and I just want to make sure I get it the right way. So just double checking myself all of the way through, and this is the best time to get it up to top dead center. I know I could check it through a spark plug hole, but I just want to prove I'm at top dead center on number one, and then locate that indicator marking on the harmonic balancer with this indicator marking and know I've got that right. I've been right through the process again now, and you can see the damper is sitting at top dead center. Very hard to see. I've got to get a second key in there. The top key is in. That bottom key actually looks like it's out a little bit. Well, I'll try to get that set up, and I've got to bolt it on. That's the ATI damper that came with Swanee's cover. You can see there I've got a lifter in, number one intake, and got the piston up at top dead center, and got my correct measurement as per the cam specs, which you've seen before. So we're all good. Another step forward getting that on, and now I can start looking at putting the head on. As per recommendations with these ARP studs, I've used their not gasket goo, their assembly goo that comes with the kit of nuts, bolts and washers. They actually came with the bolts. So I've got that all on and applied and ready to fit the nuts up. Just slowly stitching it all together. All of those studs have been locked down. They're really good. They have a hex bit for an Allen key that you can lock them in with. Very hard to screw them in without that. And I'm ready to now put the nuts on. I tensioned all of the head studs, nuts, etc. down in about 3 cycles, ran them down with a rattle gun. Went through at about 50 Newton meters, then 80 Newton meters, and then up to, I think, the final stage at 104 Newton meters, and just did them basically from the center out. So working on these two, then diagonals, and work your way around in a circle. I did get a little bit out of sequence a couple of times. Wasn't sure which one I was on, but basically that was the pattern to get them all tensioned down. Hopefully that seals it up. As I said before, I have had these gaskets fail on me before, but I think it was the surface finish on the face of the head and the face of the deck just wasn't good enough for that metal ply gasket. I've also removed the side plates just so I can see the opening and closing of the valve cycle with the firing order, and I'm starting on number 1 and starting to set up the first set of roller rockers and determine the heights. Since putting the head on, I have been doing a lot of research and evaluation of how to get these roller rockers mating up with the top of the valve stem in the appropriate area. And I think I've finally got it. I've got this set up here now. So I bought these roller rockers when I got the head done off HSD. They're actually YellaTerra roller rockers, and I think they're a 1.65 ratio, but they're a really nice roller rocker. They came with a set of washers, one for each roller rocker, and they came with these mounts, and they came with a screw that goes in the top, which is the standard roller rocker socket-headed cap screw basically, but they're a specific design. Now the problem I've encountered, as you can see here, I've used nearly all of the washers just setting up 2 of them. So this at the moment adds up, they're about 1.5 mil each, and it's coming up to around the 9 to 10 mil to get these to sit nicely on the end of the valve stem. The other problem that I've encountered because of that is the screw that comes with them is a 2-inch version of the YellaTerra roller rocker screw, and I'm only just in there by a few threads now. Initially I thought that's okay, I'll just buy some more bolts, but they are so expensive. I've just bought a set. These ones are 2-inch long, and all I could find out there was 2.25. And I was just about to press the pay button, and I found a set that are a little bit cheaper, and the only ones I could find were in packs of 16. They must be for a V8 where I just need to pack a 12. But it's cost me about $240, and the ones I got are actually 2.5-inch long. I'd rather have them a bit over than still a bit too short, because I can always knock the end off them and polish them back up, but I can get them to exactly the right length to have plenty of grip in the posts. If you come over here, I'll show you all of the roller rockers. And these are the bolts. So they're a very specific bolt. I went down to a bolt shop to see if I could buy a socket-headed cap screw, and I thought I could maybe be able to machine them to that shape. But the ones you buy haven't got this shoulder. So that's where I'm at. And the push rods, 9.050, they're nice push rods. And it's working out that I should be able to use these push rods in the motor. That's what I've got sitting in there at the moment. And with these just nipped up now, I'm getting a good bear across the face of the valve stem, and because I got pressure on them, and they just finger rotate, which is a good place. And this currently hasn't got any hydraulic pressure on it. So these are hydraulic link bar lifters. They're not solids. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I've ordered those studs now, and they'll be arriving soon. And then I'll probably try to get some packers made up rather than reusing a whole series of washers. I'll try to get an appropriate packer made up. I'll do a little bit of fine tuning on it. Get 12 packers made up, and I've got the bolt now to adjust and lock them in, and then we'll be good. We'll have all of the rocker set up in there, and I'm really glad I've got that cover, because these will be sitting quite high, as you can see. So that cover is that cover over there, you can see, is going to be nice sitting on top of this head, and those roller rockers, and that engine. Good.